Hello and welcome back to this makeup space that I have created for myself and you guys. If you're new here, my name is Amanda Renee and I am a certified makeup artist. I'm also, on top of that, sort of first and foremost, makeup addict, makeup hobbyist, pretty much makeup hoarder, pretty much just love makeup and sort of progress that into becoming a certified makeup artist. If you're not new here, thank you so much for returning and for watching this video. If you do like this video and any of the previous videos, or what my sort of intention with this content is, please make sure to like and subscribe and also ring the bell so you're notified of future content that I upload. I upload every Tuesday and Thursday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, same as 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and also sometimes on Sundays at that same time as well. So that's what you have to look forward to. Today, while I was out and about, I decided to go to the good old Dollar General and get a full face of their sort of exclusive makeup line, which is Believe Beauty. I've seen a lot of good things about it, and I sort of just wanted to try it out for myself. So I literally got pretty much all the products to do a full face. The only thing that they really didn't have was a black eyeliner, whether it be liquid or gel or whatever. There was not a black, so I sort of picked something else up to use in its place. So with that being said, I have my essential skincare done. I don't have any primer. I actually have a primer from Believe, so that's what we're gonna do. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit and we'll get started. Alright, so I'm zoomed in. I'm going to start out with, this is the Believe Beauty Pretty and Primed Color Correcting Primer. This was actually the only primer that they had in stock. Oh, and this is really green, like really green. So in theory, green will cancel out reds and pinks. You don't ever want, whether it be a primer or any actual sort of color corrector, you never want to put so much on that you could actually see the color of the color that you're using to put the color corrector, essentially. So you see people using these super orange, super orange color correctors, and then basically not really blending them out to where because it's meant to neutralize. It's not meant to, you're creating more work for yourself if you can see the actual color of the color corrector and you don't blend it into your skin properly. Okay, so this primer, I'm not sure that it really did anything. It doesn't feel bad. It's a little tiny bit tacky. I don't think it has any sort of pore filling qualities or anything of that nature. So I'm going to let that sit, and then we're going to move on to the eyes, which is what I would normally do in my sort of routine. I would do the eyes first. Since I don't have any eye primer, I'm against my better judgment. I'm going to go in with just a bit of the concealer that I picked up. I don't like using concealer as eye primer. It's just, I don't think it really does anything. To me, it creates more of a mess in the long run because it breaks down. But for lack of anything else, and I want to stay true to the full face of Believe Beauty, so we will go with it and see where this goes. Okay, so eyes are primed, covered essentially. I have this palette here. It's the Nearly Nude palette. They had like 6 different palettes, I think, and this to me seems sort of the safest bet. I definitely, maybe I should have, but I definitely didn't want to pick up, because they had like a blue palette, and they had like an all shimmer palette, which I want. This has 2 mattes and 4 sort of shimmers. Looks like one is like super shimmery, maybe a couple there might be like satin metallic, I'm not really sure. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go in, there's not really a good specific like transition shade. Okay, so I'm just gonna go in with, and I don't think there are shade names, definitely not any shade names. So I'm gonna go in with this sort of dark brown color. Oh, it actually kicks up quite a bit, and it's actually got good payoff, really good actually. You see that? Actually quite impressive considering that was only like going in like twice. So next I'm going to go in on a clean brush with this sort of light sort of bone color, and that kicks up quite a bit. But when I put the other one on the eye, there was actually no fallout onto my face or anything. This has fallout for sure. I'm just going to take this color, since there was no sort of middle transition color, I'm going to take this and sort of buff around the edge of the shadow that the dark brown that I put down. That's nice. That sort of just literally just melted all of that right in, and there's just sort of blends out. So next I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna try it on a brush and see what happens. I'm gonna go in with this bright sort of like sandy shade here, and see how it applies with the brush. I might end up using my finger to apply it, which sort of is my preference for shimmer shades. Wow, actually. All right. Then I'm going to take the back side of this brush and go in with this sort of cooler bronzy shade and sort of go in between the matte brown and the lighter shimmer that I put. And then I'm going to go back in with the dark brown and sort of just further blend the shimmer with it. That's actually really nice. I'm going to go in just to test it with my finger to this light sandy shade, and I'm just going to... That actually has even more payoff than the with the brush, which I figured it would. I was impressed with how it looked with the brush. So next, I'm gonna go back in with sort of a pencil brush. This is, I'm not actually sure. This might be a BH Cosmetics brush. And connect the top shadow with underneath the lower lash line. I'm gonna do the same thing with that sort of like light bone color and sort of diffuse this as well, so it equally matches the top. And there really is not really a noticeable fallout underneath my eye, which is super impressive to me for it being, I mean, this palette was I think $5, which the most expensive thing in this sort of line is $5. It ranges from like $2 to $5 for every product that they have. So, yeah. Alright, so going back in with this little light color, just going to buff out. It just softens the edge. And then I'm going to go in, back in with that sort of shimmer light sand color and just pop it a little bit on the inner corner, connecting the lower lash line to the top. And then I'm going to put a little bit sort of as like a brow bone highlight. Alright, so seriously, I'm like super impressed. That was extremely easy. I'm happy so far. Surprisingly, on my lid, the concealer isn't breaking down and like creasing like crazy, which most of them do, which is kind of weird. Definitely don't like using concealer on the lid. So next, I have two options because they didn't have any eyeliner, black eyeliner, whether it be liquid or pencil or anything. So I picked up this. This is like a gel eyeliner in the shade Mystique. It's like a dark, sort of reddish brown. I mean, it swatches nice, but oh, it's got a little bit of shimmer to it. And then I picked up this green. Here are the up here. So it's the green liquid liner. I'm honestly not going to do that. I was just sort of intrigued by it. I'm gonna go in with this sort of dark brown liner and see what I can get it to do, sort of just defining, almost tight lining. Okay, it is making a difference and it's gliding on nice. I prefer like gel pots or liquids, but we do what we can with what we have. Retrospect, I should have gotten a lighter one, but I'm just gonna line the waterline with this as well. But, so, there's what we have. It'll give a little something for the eyelashes to adhere, sort of, you know, go against. And I also have this mascara. It is High Drama Fiber Mascara for dramatically full lashes, and this is what it looks like. And the blonde, come on. The wand just looks like a basic mascara wand. It's not super like huge, which is nice because that seems to be the ones that will transfer onto your eyelid. So let's try this out. Okay, I put quite a few layers on this, and I don't know how well that translates on camera, but I don't ever curl my eyelashes because they don't stay curled whatsoever. So they actually look visibly curled, and they look like, honestly, I'm wearing like almost like natural looking false eyelashes, and it did not transfer. It's mostly dry except for like the last little bit that I put on. My lower lashes look pretty good. I'm gonna put false eyelashes on anyways. I just wanted to try it out. So that is essentially the eye look. I'm very impressed. I would say if you're on a budget or whatever, I would say this is, I don't know anything about the rest of the eyeshadow palettes, but this, I used all but one shade. This is, I would recommend it, good. The eyeliner was alright. I would have liked to have tried in the black, but so I don't really have an opinion on that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to finish this eye, throw on some lashes, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to try out these face products. So stay tuned and I'll see you in a few minutes. Alright, and I am back now that both eyes are complete. I gotta say I'm the most, as far as the whole eye situation, I'm the most mad about the lashes. As far as I'm concerned, they are absolutely garbage. They look okay, but the band just, I use a lot of lashes and it's not good. So I would say, like, so far, if that would be something to stray elsewhere for, even, you know, even if, like, Kiss lashes are good, Ardell's lashes are good, Eyelures, I believe, is another good one. Lots of other drugstore for, you know, not terribly expensive. So we're gonna move on to the face now. So since the primer's been sitting, I have this, makeup perfecting setting spray. It's Prime Set and Refresh. I'm actually going to use this. I have no idea what is the mist. Okay, that's not bad. Just sort of, amp up a little bit of moisture to the skin before I start putting foundation on. Okay, that has a sort of nice, like, fresh fragrance to it, I guess. And then this is the foundation. It's in a glass bottle. This was $5, and this is the shade Ivory. I don't know how this is going to match me, but it's what I have, so we're going to use it. Out of what they had, it was actually quite thick. Interesting. Out of what they had, it seemed like it was going to be the best bet. I have a damp sponge, and we're just gonna go. I apologize if it is not a good color. They had a color lighter than this, which I knew was definitely going to be too light. I think the only problem this is going to have is that it's too yellow. But we'll make it work. It's really not even about the shade. It's more about how it performs. So I'm sure you guys will excuse me for a bad match if it is. This is supposed to be medium to full coverage, buildable, but I never wear full coverage, so I would say this is probably medium for sure. The finish is supposed to be skin finish foundation, so obviously not completely matte, but not totally dewy either, so probably more along the lines of like a natural, like, satin finish. Which, from what I see, I would attest to, saying that is probably correct claim on its part. And I have only used about 1.5 pumps for what I've put on my face. I'm just sort of going around and making sure everything is nice and no excess product anywhere, nice and blended out. So in the mirror, that looks, quite nice. It looks like skin. It doesn't look cakey or heavy or anything of that nature. So next I have the concealer, which is in shade Ivory as well. It's also what I primed my eyes with since I didn't have an actual eye primer. So, and the concealer looks quite pink, which is interesting considering it's the same name as the foundation. But the foundation is definitely more neutral leaning yellow, and this concealer is definitely on the pink side.
So there is, it's pretty much where I only put concealer. I don't really put concealer anywhere else. So I mean, that looks nice. It doesn't look excessively dry or anything like that. So far, so good. Next, we have the Believe Beauty Translucent Matte Blur Powder in Translucent. And it looks like it has color to it. It doesn't look, to me, translucent. So that's all right. I'm not a big fan of this. I'm honestly not a fan of most powders. The only powder that I've been able to use and absolutely love is the Jeffree Star Magic Star powder in translucent. I love it so much, and it's gonna be a hard situation to pull me away from that. I'll try, but honestly, most things just does not compare. So, I mean, that's alright. It looks cakey a little bit around my nose. Spray should fix that in the end, but I don't like it getting to that point because I don't use much product to begin with. So next, we have the Get Glowing Highlight and Contour Palette. This is actually, oh, this is light medium. Okay. I thought that they only had medium dark, but I guess I did grab a light medium. So I'm going to go in with the, ooh, that's a lot of kick up. I'm sort of terrified. So I'm going to knock some off that. I feel like, yeah, this is definitely warm. Very warm. Okay, so I tend to like a more sort of cooler toned, but I'll make it work. This actually has a little bit of a sheen to it too, so probably not going to put any of the blush on. Maybe I will, I don't know, we'll see. the highlight in this is way too, I can't use this as a highlight. It might be a pretty eyeshadow, but it's just very, it's too dark. Luckily, I did pick up a standalone highlighter, and this is Pop of Pink. So we're going to go in and see what this does. Oh. Okay. So this is like an iridescent pink shift. I wouldn't have expected it to be so pink by the way it looks in the pan. I'm not mad, just not at all what I would have expected. It does have a little bit of glitter in it, I think. Very fine. Doesn't seem to accentuate texture. You can build it up a little bit. Definitely not the most intense highlight you've ever seen, but I wouldn't expect that for the price point that it is, so definitely not, let's see how, not mad. Okay, so pretty much the face. I am going to go in with the setting spray. So my skin, after that being sprayed, aside from just around my nose, looks really freaking good. Nice and dewy and glowy, but nothing like too crazy. And the bronzer doesn't even, see how it reads on camera, in actual mirror it doesn't look too orange. So I'll see. So last thing we have are lips. So I picked up this long-lasting lip liner, which I think is the same formula as the eyeliner, and this is in Barely There, so it's like a pinky nude shade. It's like my lip color, but better. Okay, so there is the lip liner. I filled in just a little bit on the lips. And then this is a Velvet Matte lipstick in the shade Foxy. And this is sort of a pinky nude as well. A little bit more neutral, a little bit more brown, I think. I'm gonna stop talking. So that looks actually really nice. I'm gonna give this a minute to sort of settle down. And then I have this lip gloss in Ethereal. It looks really pretty. I don't know if you can tell that on camera, but there's a bunch of micro glitters in here. Of like pinky, purple, gold. I think it'll be a nice topper and sort of tie this in all together. So skin honestly looks pretty nice. Pretty impressed. Alright, so I'm going to go in with this lip gloss. Okay, so this is the final look. What do you guys think? Overall, I'm pretty, I mean, setting spray, whatever, it's cheap, so why not? The foundation, I think, is really nice. I don't know how long it wears, but overall, so far, I think it is definitely a good buy. The lip liner is nice. I think it's the same formula as the eyeliner. I wouldn't necessarily get the eyeliner. So lip liner, yes. Eyeliner formula, I mean, the formula is the same, but use it as eyeliner, not so much. Concealer, I'm not having any crazy creasing or anything, so I would, even on the eyes where I used it as a primer, and I would really never do that, I would say yes for the concealer. The eyeshadow palette, definitely a yes. Primer, I don't know that it really did anything, but it's cheap, so if you want to go ahead and try it. The mascara, I'm going to say yes. I'm actually quite impressed with what it did with my lashes. The bronzer, highlighter, blush palette, to me, it's all still just it's a little too warm and a little too dark for my skin tone. So, and this is their light medium. They didn't just have a light. So it was light to medium and then medium to deep. And it just, you'd have to see what they're considering like deep. It's not anywhere near an inclusive range at all. So, but it's Dollar General. I don't expect anything crazy. The powder, not a fan. It's really just, I'm not a fan. Next, the lipstick. It was nice. I have no issue with it. So I would say at least, you know, this shade, the Velvet Matte in Foxy, it's a good one. And then the lip gloss, I liked it. It's not super sticky or anything. It's a nice sort of just smooth texture, which I like. And the lashes, I'm gonna take them off and throw them out. So that's the worst part about all of this, honestly, is the lashes. I think that's everything. If you're on a budget, I would definitely say the majority of the products that I tried are good, if you know how to apply them. Otherwise, get different lashes, maybe a different primer, I don't know, setting spray. It did what it did what I need it to do, which is sort of just melt the powders and stuff into my skin. Other than that, if you found this information useful, and if you like what you saw today and want to see more in the future, please make sure to like and subscribe and ring the bell so you're notified of anything else I produce. Also, let me know down in the comments what you thought of this. It's probably going to be a lengthy video again because I just don't like to shut my mouth. I'll try and do speed throughs and as much as I can to shorten it. But yeah, so this was actually quite surprising, and I'm very happy with the result of it, except for the eyelashes. Those make me mad. Otherwise, I think that wraps everything up, and thank you for watching, and I will talk to you all next time. Bye.